Just that fast, we're live again. My voice doesn't sound as good as it did last night, but we can work with it. I think. Dang. Pardon me. Pardon me, pardon me. Well, we've already got a like. That sure was quick. Thank you for the like. And a viewer too? Say it ain't so. I'm just kidding, it only makes sense that we would have a viewer in order to have a like. Who could it be? Show me the chat. 2 viewers, wow. Ooh, poppin' me knuckles. I know I still need to edit last night's episode. So that I can make it public again. I will do that. I will do that soon. Don't worry. I'm going to gradually ease into the stream to give people an opportunity to tune in. Finally! Hey! 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 Thank you for tuning in. How have you been? Welcome back. I did stream 24 hours ago or so. But like I was saying, I need to edit a thing or two out of it in order to make it public again. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Let me grab my Steam Deck. I did promise people that this would be a gaming stream. But I don't want the Steam Deck speakers to be too close to the microphone. We want a good balance of my voice and button click sounds and copyrighted audio from the game. Oh god, you can see my face. That's embarrassing. Okay, I think I fixed it. Not like you could make it out much anyway. You may like to make out with it, since you couldn't make it out. Did I fix the camera? I think I did. Guess I'm lucky. Should I challenge the Watchman to a duel? I think I will. Oh, my neck. How is everybody feeling? How is everyone's day? I'll go first, I guess. I feel all right at the moment. My day was okay. Interviewed for a new job, sort of, and got the sort of new job. So I'm still in shock and awaiting transition period from my current job to the next. Hoping things will change for the better. All around. All together. How's the game volume for everyone? Do I still want to play this particular game? That is good. Oh, thank you. Did I already mention I'm playing Octopath Traveler? I've been playing Dragon Quest XI and Bone Razor Minions and Forza Horizon 5. Congratulations. Oh, thank you, Alice. Alice is lost. So am I. Thank you for tuning in. How have you been? Welcome to the stream. I have a lot of video games in my collection. It is oftentimes impossible to decide what I should be playing. As I was saying, though, I tonight jumped back into Octopath Traveler for the first time in a few weeks. It's a pretty easy game to jump in and out of, especially since I've played the first portion of it before on Switch, but now I'm on Steam Deck, which is even better. I was playing Dragon Quest XI a lot in the last week or so, courtesy of a friend's Steam library. Bone Razor Minions. What else have we been playing? Oh, I mentioned Forza Horizon 5, but that's more of a desktop thing with the steering wheel peripheral and all. I'm worried about what happens on this ASMR stream whenever I sneeze, because that is very disruptive to a listener's sleep. Oh yeah, I was trying to get Cyberpunk 2077 to run on my Steam Deck or on my desktop, and it just doesn't seem to want to. Not very well, anyhow. So I need a new desktop. Maybe one of these days. Maybe my new job will help afford it. Rollerdrome. I need to get back into Rollerdrome. That game was pretty cool. Tried out Cult of the Lamb, which is everyone's obsession lately on streaming platforms. Tried out Everhood. I should probably plug my phone in so that we don't lose the stream by way of battery time. Forgive me if plugging this in is loud. Hi. Hey, hello again. Kanade. I'm sorry, I still don't remember how to pronounce your name. Thank you for tuning in. How have you been? And thank you for the like. I saw that you posted a new video. I haven't had a chance to finish watching it yet. I'm very curious, though. I haven't checked on your Japanese channel since I first discovered you. Wonder if there's any new content there as well. I find that a foreign language might be easier to fall asleep to because I'm not stimulated by processing what's being said. I can just focus on the timbre and texture and sonorousness of someone's voice. I'm pretty good as well. I was just discussing the various video games I've been trying out in the last week or three. I was also discussing how today I had a job interview that apparently went well because over the next 2 to 4 weeks, I will be transitioning into a new job. So it should be a good thing, hopefully. Altogether, overall. I haven't mentioned it much, I guess, but I joined a gym a couple of weeks ago, and I've been going basically every other day. So I'm inevitably sore on a regular basis. Congratulations, that is so good. Why, thank you. Thank you very much for your well wishes, and congratulations, everyone. Thank you all. I'm looking at my game library on my Steam Deck. I finished Fury's story, but I did not get the true ending. And I unlocked the speedrun mode, and I experimented with that for a little bit. I do intend to speedrun Fury rather soon. RuneScape, old school RuneScape. For whatever reason, I was compelled to jump back into that game and play through Tutorial Island and stuff. And it runs pretty decently on Steam Deck, actually. Dicey Dungeons, that's a good one. Dead Cells, Vampire Survivors. I was immersed in Civilization 5 a couple of weeks ago. Perhaps I could get back into that. Vault of the Void goes out of early access October 4th, I think. So maybe I should wait. What type of games do you usually play? Well, on On Steam, I have a library of over 2,000 games, so I play many different types. I guess this week I've been playing JRPGs, very JRPGs, and Vampire Survivors likes, and I played some racing games recently. I've been meaning to get back to Gran Turismo 7 because there's been a lot of updates since I played it last. Rollerdrome, that's an interesting one. Cult of the Lamb, that's also an interesting one. It's hard to describe that one. 2,000 indeed. Indubitably. And that's just on Steam. That's not to speak of dozens or hundreds of other games in dozens of other places. I'm a bit of a nerd, I suppose. Music games and rhythm games, I guess, is a category. Twitch action games, action puzzle games, puzzle games. What kind of games does everyone else play? Maybe that would be a more helpful and useful and interesting question, because I would never shut up if I had to keep going. Deck builders, roguelites, card battlers, permadeath, traditional roguelikes also. I've been looking at Cult of the Lamb too. Yeah, I tried that one out. It's not bad. It's got sort of two halves. It's got the Animal Crossing-ish, or Harvest Moon, or Oxygen Not Included-ish civilization management, or what would be the right word? Village management game. It's got that sort of meta game. And then it's got this under game or sub game where you can explore the depths of dungeons in the style of Binding of Isaac, crossed with Gungeon, crossed with Rogue Legacy, I would say. It's an amalgamation of a lot of different games called the Lamb. Yes, I was actually, right before I went live, I was watching the very beginning of today's PlayStation State of Play showcase. I thought I was going to try to sleep, so I turned it off. But after having turned off the State of Play, and the Tekken 8 trailer was very impressive. That was the only one that I saw from that State of Play show. That was very impressive. I decided to come and do this stream. Because, yeah. Also, there was a Nintendo Direct today. I did fast forward through that, so I saw most of the trailers and games discussed and revealed in that. Pikmin 4, nice. The thing that excited me most, perhaps because I've been on a JRPG kick of late, and because by the way, I'm a huge advocate and aficionado and connoisseur and all those things of video game music. That is one of my favorite things. So, I was most excited by the Octopath Traveler 2 trailer from the Nintendo Direct. At least out of that batch of trailers, that was the one that I was most excited about. Yes, you do. Maybe I shouldn't spoil things for you. My mistake if I did. I prefer to watch directs and State of Plays not knowing anything, really, if I can help it. Ooh, video game music. Yes, indeed. Video game soundtracks, instrumentals, underscores, incidental music, chimes, jingles, that sort of thing. Also from films and TV shows, but I have a soft spot for video games and their music especially. See here. Slay the Spire is another roguelike deck builder. I tried out River City Girls a couple of weeks ago. It was okay. The gameplay itself was fun, but a lot of the story and whatnot got in the way. And it was a little glitchy on Steam Deck, so I had to uninstall it. But I intend to keep playing that one. You play Nintendo most of the time, right? Not necessarily. That's really cool. I'm kind of like that when it comes to voice actors in games and shows. Oh, neat. I'm very good with actors in live action content, movies and TV shows. I can name background actors a lot of the time that show up in all kinds of stuff. And people I'm watching movies with won't believe me when I tell them that's so-and-so from that other movie. And they're like, no, it's not. And then I hold up IMDb on my phone and I'm like, told you. And they're like, what? That's sort of what happens a lot of the time. I wish I could do that with voice actors. Maybe if I watched more animated things, I could get that good at it. Some people have really iconic and recognizable voices. Like the T-Rex from Toy Story. He's got a role in every Pixar movie. Can't remember his name, the actor. Oh, you asked whether I play Nintendo most of the time, right? I was going to try to answer that. I have a Nintendo Entertainment System or two. I have a Super Nintendo Entertainment System or two. I have an N64 or two. I have a GameCube. I have a Wii. I have a Wii U. I have a Switch or two. I have a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, two Nintendo DS Fats, two Nintendo DS Lites, I think two Nintendo 3DS XLs, although one of them I gave to my dad. What else? I have a Sega Genesis or two, a Sega Dreamcast or two. Especially with Japanese voice actors. Ochenta y ocho. Mami. Kawaii. I did that on last night's stream. So much Nintendo. Wow, it does seem like a lot of Nintendo so far. Sega Genesis or two, Dreamcast or two, Xbox 360 Elite Slim that is red ringed and has not been fixed yet. Xbox One S, 2 terabyte. PlayStation 4 Classic Edition White, Destiny 1 Edition, I guess. PlayStation 5 White with optical disc drive. Yes. And what are we forgetting? I guess we're forgetting desktop PC and Steam Deck and iPhone and iPad. And not so much anymore, but laptop. I forget which part was funny, or which part in particular is being laughed at. Because there's sometimes a latency too, you know. I've got to try voice acting. Maybe someday. A true gamer. Oh, that's what y'all are laughing at. Okay. Yeah, my voice is not as good tonight as it was last night, in my opinion. And as I was saying earlier, I will edit last night's stream and make it public again. I have to remove a thing or two. I accidentally doxed myself, basically. So after I remove the doxing information from last night's stream, it will be public. I was trying to think of, like, give me more lines to say that are in the Japanese old man voice, or in, maybe not the kawaii voice, maybe not that voice this time of night. Your voice is really, really nice. Well, so is yours. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. Dwarf Romantic. That's an ASMR game, if I've ever heard of one. I've seen a few ASMR people playing Dwarf Romantic on their streams. That one is like a board game where you assemble a society that's like a colonial village, I guess you could say. It's very chill, very fun. Tetris. I love Tetris. I used to be pretty gosh darn good at Tetris. Whenever Tetris Effect originally came out on PlayStation 4 in 2018, I was the 9th highest score in the world for the first month. But that didn't last very long. But yeah, what else here? Turn-based tactics tactics games. If XCOM Enemy Unknown worked well on Steam Deck, I'd be playing it right now. What was I going to say about that genre? Oh, Disgaea. I've been meaning to retry Disgaea 1. Hello. Hey again, Sakshi. Thank you for tuning in. How have you been? I was wondering if we'd be able to accumulate a crowd tonight. Now I'm glad that I streamed. This is only my second stream since March 21st, if I remember correctly. See, as I was explaining last night, there was a point in time, or a period of time, where YouTube would only allow you to stream from mobile if your channel had 1,000 or more subscribers, but I guess they got rid of that requirement, because now I'm able to stream from my phone and tablet again. It makes it much more easy for me to stream, which is why I decided to do it last night and tonight. I'm doing good. I hope you had a good sleep last night. It was all right. I had one of those mornings of sleep where my body kept waking up, but I kept forcing myself to go back to sleep because I didn't want to get out of bed. I feel like that happened a lot of times, like, every hour probably. That ever happened to any of you? Got out of bed just in time for that job interview. And by the way, Sakshi, I've got the job, apparently. Still processing that information, still in something of a shock. And still wondering how the next month and the next year and the next lifetime is going to go. But aren't we all? By the way, that was me popping my knuckles, if you were wondering. I don't know why I popped my knuckles. Hey, congratulations. Thank you very much. Made me think of the Stanley Parable. Is anyone here a fan of that game? A couple of my best friends and I were playing that a week ago. They had never played the sequel to the Stanley Parable before, so we were playing the sequel. And anyway, there's a funny moment where the narrator's like, "Congratulations, you win." I don't want to spoil too much. That's a good game, and I don't want to be too loud either. If you couldn't tell, my mind is inadvertently splintering in every direction, as is so often the case. I'm still looking at my Steam library because I was asked what kind of games I like to play. What kind of games do you all like to play? I'm not sure if anyone answered that. Japanese voice actors. Oh yeah, that was another thing. You could feed me lines if you wanted me to say lines. Or you could request triggers. I guess it's kind of the same thing, in a way. Damn, you got friends who play with you, must be nice. Yeah, but it's only like once every 3 to 6 months, so not as nice as it could be. Plus, on that particular occasion, it was like planned weeks in advance, and that particular friend lives like an hour north of me, and anyway, it's not a common occurrence, unfortunately. That's my elbow rubbing my cheeks. Then we are in the same boat. Yeah, indeed. Without a paddle. Should we read something? Should we talk about games? Should we do other triggers? Should we actually play a game? I was playing Octopath Traveler at the start of the stream. And now I've derailed into talking about games instead of actually playing them. That happens every time, actually. You know, one of my mottos and mantras in life, as pertains to everything and every aspect, is that I am too busy tasting everything to complete or accomplish anything. 'Tis the paradox of choice. Decision overwhelms and freedom paralyzes. Something to that effect. I was playing a game called Octopath Traveler, which is as Japanese as JRPGs can get. I like Tekken, God of War, Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, stuff like that. Recently, I have been a degenerate, and I've been playing Genshin Impact a lot. Well, nice. I enjoyed what I played of Genshin, maybe an hour or two. For some reason, I'm fixating on... I don't know how to put this, but you know how in some games you just have a husbando or a waifu, and it sticks out in your mind, even if you only spent like an hour or two with the game? Well, and that comes up in conversation with games like Genshin Impact, I guess, as well, in particular. But anyway, some nice games, lol. Those are good choices, yes. I was thinking of the dark-haired girl who wears red and casts fire spells. I can't remember her name, but if I had a Genshin waifu, Anyway, Tekken. Yeah, I remember. I have fond memories of Tekken on the PlayStation 2, like Tag Tournament 2, and I forget which other ones were on PS2. Also got Tekken 7, of course, but I haven't spent much time with that. What else did you say? Everyone wants a waifu. Even waifus want waifus. Is that what you're saying? Amber, yeah, I think you're right, actually. Because her eye color and her hair and her ability to cast fire. I guess that makes sense, yeah. And the gemstone or whatever. I vaguely remember Genshin. But, God of War, yes. I didn't really play the original trilogy or Ascension very much at all, or ever. But I played 2018's God of War. I got a few hours in. I enjoyed it. I need to finish it. You're going to hear me say that a lot if we talk about any given game. One of my highest compliments, speaking of too busy tasting everything to complete or accomplish anything, the paradox of choice, decision overwhelms and freedom paralyzes, that whole thing. Speaking of that, one of my highest compliments I can give a game is finishing it. So, need a good waifu and husbando. That does sound good. Sounds like the best plan. God of War. Yeah, that was good. Devil May Cry. So, funny story. I tried Devil May Cry 5 a few weeks ago, and I was lost. The story is like, what? And the gameplay, too, was a little, what? But it was fun. I just felt like I needed to play the first 4 before 5. Luckily, I have the Trilogy HD collection in my Steam library. I just haven't started it yet. I skipped to 5 because I heard so many good things. And I was lost, so I stopped. But yeah, Resident Evil. I've heard good things about 4, especially, and 7 and 8, and 1, 2, and 3. Especially 2 and 3 remake, but especially 2 remake. Just haven't messed with those. Would like to. In general, though, horror and point-and-click adventure are my least favorite genres. But again, I love video games. I will play and enjoy just about any video game. It's just that point-and-click and horror I enjoy the least compared to other genres. With the exception of my second favorite game of all time, The Witness, which could sort of be described as a point-and-click adventure, except not really. Genshin, stuff like that. Okay, so I caught up on that comment. The true words you said there. If you finish a game, that is a big compliment. I mean, for me in particular. I guess for most people too, but for me, like having over 2,000 games at my fingertips all the time, like, if I finish a game, I must have really enjoyed it. There must have been something about it that made it very compelling, very fulfilling, very pleasurable, you might say. So as I was discussing earlier, I finished Fury to the end, finally, a few weeks ago. Not the true ending, mind you. You get scared if you play horror games? Because I do. So, with horror games and with horror movies, too, especially. Let's talk about horror movies primarily first. The thing about horror movies is 95% of them are so terrible that they turn into comedies. For me, personally. And the other 5% actually scare me, and I don't really enjoy that either. Usually. I do have some favorites, some exceptions. If we're talking about movies, I enjoy psychological thrillers and cerebral suspense, that kind of thing. Like Seven. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie where Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt hunt down a serial killer. It's one of my favorites, probably. And Zodiac is similar, but again, some would say these aren't even horror movies, technically. But Seven does have some horror elements. Stranger Things I enjoy because of the corniness and the pastiche and the homage and all that stuff. It's not really that scary for the most part. It's just funny. It's just like nostalgia, bro. Yeah, don't you wish you were a kid in the 80s? Actually, I do. What is that, a Duke Nukem voice? I've got balls of steel. It's time to kick gum and chew ass, and I'm all out of gum. Or is that the line? The spoonerized line? Yeah, I think I said it right. 7. Oh, the movie? Yeah, there was some gore, I guess. Become a voice actor already. How? How does one become? One does not simply become a voice actor. Or do they? Do tell. Anyhow, what were we discussing? Horror movies. 7, Stranger Things. Oh, It Follows. Those are like the 3 horror movies and TV things that I don't mind. Video games. Let's talk about video games, though. Limbo and Inside. I think I talked about this last night, too. Limbo and Inside are like the only horror games that I adore, that I can think of off the top of my head. But they're primarily puzzle platformers, 2D puzzle platformers, and they're horror games second. You know, and Little Nightmares was sort of a knockoff of both of those. And I started it, I guess a month or 2 ago. I thought it was alright. But, yeah, do y'all remember that movie, It Follows? To be honest, I got into that movie because one of my favorite composers, Disasterpeace, did the music. And that's a whole thing that I could geek out on about. Geek out on about? That makes sense, I guess. He did the soundtrack for my favorite video game of all time, which is Fez, F-E-Z. And the director of It Follows, David Robert Mitchell, that was his directorial debut, It Follows. And when he was looking for, music to put in it, he used a lot of music cues from Fez as his temp music, his temp track, his temporary music to give whatever composer he would eventually hire an idea of what they should compose like. And he started running out of time, and eventually he decided, hey, I temped it with Fez. How about I just go to the Fez composer and see if he wants to do it? Hey, Bello Razzo, or Bello Razzo, thank you for tuning in. How have you been? Welcome to our Random Ramble ASMR Chit Chat stream. It Follows, yeah. So he went to the composer for Fez and was like, hey, do you want to finish this soundtrack for me? Because it's already mostly your music anyways. And he's like, yeah, sure. And then David's like, by the way, you got like a week and a half. Good luck. So all things considered, turned out pretty good for Disasterpeace only having like 2 weeks to write the music. You have such a nice voice. Oh, shucks. Oh, thanks. Damn, I had no idea. Yeah. There's some cool sound design in that soundtrack, too. And you know what else? While we're on the subject of It Follows and its music, it frustrates me that American Horror Story rips off compositions from other horror movies and TV shows and doesn't really credit them or anything. I barely remember, to be honest, because it's been so long, but the title sequence for season 1 of American Horror Story was like a rip-off of, I think, Memento and maybe Zodiac and some other stuff. But also they ripped off, in season 3 or 4 of American Horror Story, they ripped off Detroit from the soundtrack of It Follows. And just, some of the many reasons I don't appreciate American Horror Story. So, I don't like horror anyways, but, if I did, I would not support American Horror Story. But, what? Good, I don't watch that show. Yeah. I didn't know that, too. About It Follows? Oh, cool. But yeah, Detroit from It Follows, that's a good tune. It's got a nice, it's got some arpeggios, and it's got sort of a compound time signature. Makes it kind of disorienting. But also, like, pleasant. Like, haunting is probably a good word for it. I had an argument with my coworkers about that piece at one point. They're not music nerds or nerds like I am, but I couldn't convince them that it was a creepy song. They would only settle for, like, haunting or something more vague, because it wasn't explicitly creepy in their opinion. But anyway, what should we talk about now? Because we can go anywhere. We can talk about anything. Horror. We're talking about horror games. That's what we were talking about at one point. I enjoy Limbo and Inside. In fact, I enjoyed Inside so very much that I have the limited collector's edition of Inside. That came with a little replica of the monster from Inside. And funny story, I guess, funny anecdote. Some parts of that package, they came wrapped in this hefty trash bag looking black sack. And I assumed that because it looked like a hefty trash sack, it was trash. So I threw it away, but come to find out later from a few of my friends and from other YouTube videos that there was like a line of binary or Morse code or something like that, like written on each of the black bags that got shipped out for those packages. And we were supposed to play this AR metagame where we'd put our Morse code from the hefty bags together and make, you know, some kind of message about the next game after Inside, the sequel, the third game. But yeah, I threw mine away, so I guess we're never finishing that augmented reality puzzle. But yeah, it's kind of funny though. Other horror games. So right, y'all were talking about, do I get scared if I play those kinds of games? I probably would if I bothered to subject myself to those games. Like, like Outlast 1 and 2, and like The Evil Within 1 and 2, and like the Amnesia series. Actually, I'm thinking about trying The Dark Descent, Amnesia The Dark Descent, because, oh yeah, this is something else we talked about last night. There's this game I've been playing with those friends I mentioned called Guess the Game. It's this web app where you go to this web page and they show you an image and you have to guess what game this image is from or of. Hey, I had this question. The name of the channel, is it like man plus anonymous equals manonym? It is exactly that. Yes. Sorry for rambling so much, by the way. It looks like I might have scared off a lot of viewers, according to YouTube. Outlast 2 and Amnesia are so good. I don't think I have Outlast 2 in my library. I have Outlast 1, though. Let me see. I want to make sure which ones I have. Sometimes I forget what games I have. Looking at Steam now. Also, I have like $8 in my Steam wallet. I'm tempted to buy Divinity Original Sin 1 Enhanced Edition and or Disco Elysium, the final cut. I have tried Disco Elysium before and I wasn't particularly a fan of it, I guess, because I didn't... Anyway. Oh, YouTube is lying. I guess 6 viewers are still here. Hey, Maisa, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. How have you been? Yep, I told you I would try to make it a habit. I'm going to do my darndest to stick around and keep these friends I've made, so to speak. Yeah, those are good games. Okay, Outlast. Let's see. We're searching Steam for Outlast to see which ones I own. Oh, I have Outlast, Outlast 2, Outlast Trinity, Outlast Whistleblower. And those are the Outlasts that I have. Also, in the search results, I see Layers of Fear. It's a game I forgot about. Haven't tried. Hey, I will leave. I woke up an hour ago. Gotta go have breakfast. I hope to catch you later. Have a good one, you. Thanks for stopping by, Sakshi. I hope to see you again soon as well. But in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And good luck, and sweetest dreaming, whether wake or sleep. Nighty-night. Also, there's a game called Outcast, Second Contact. That is not a horror game, but it is in my library. Layers of Fear Inheritance, that's a DLC. Right, what was the other game we were talking about? Fare thee well, mademoiselle. TTYL. We were talking about Amnesia. Right, I have more than one of the Amnesia games, but I haven't played any of them. But maybe I should. If I did, though, I'd probably stream them on my public channel. Not this one. I don't know, though. We'll see. It says I have Rebirth, Dark Descent, Machine for Pigs. Oh, yeah, and it also brings up Soma. That's another one I've been meaning to play. I feel like I'm talking too fast or too much. Ah, my Wi-Fi is so bad. Aw. Please do let me know if I need to talk slower or quieter. So many games, wow. I know, and I don't mean to brag. It's just overwhelming. I deeply love video games too, though. I watched gameplay of Soma as well. Nice. I like games with philosophical themes and undertones. I like that. Like you could talk about Spec Ops: The Line, you could talk about Nier Automata, you could talk about Metal Gear Solid 2, talk about Deus Ex, Talos Principle. The Witness, even, my second favorite game of all time. The Beginner's Guide. The Stanley Parable 1 and 2. That Dragon Cancer. What Remains of Edith Finch. The Unfinished Swan. Everything. There's a game called Everything. I wanted to watch it. Oh, gotcha. We love the talking. We love the meats. Wait, that's a mixture of two things. That's from like a meme about Super Meat Boy and from Arby's commercials. That was my brain farting there. Hello, Zoe Fox Bunny. Thank you for tuning in. How have you been? Now, I kind of realize that people are tuning in because they want to hear me talk. I realize that. But how do they want to hear me talk? Do they want me to talk slowly and lowly and smoothly and sultry and smoky and tenderly? Or do they want me to talk like a total spaz and spurg and nerd and geek and like get too excited and talk too fast and talk too loud? You know what I mean? I think that's less likely to induce ASMR if I start talking too loud or too fast or too high-pitched, you know? It was just a thought. Sorry, popping my knuckles again. Some people like that as an ASMR trigger. And hopefully you were among them. Also, my elbows keep rubbing into my bed. You just talking normally is so relaxing. I miss love it. I miss love it? Well, I'm glad. Let me think, what else were we going to talk about? Horror games, whether I'd be scared by them, I probably would be. It just depends. Oh, I think Sakshi or someone was asking if I would play Five Nights at Freddy's, or if I had played it. I have not. And I may not. I don't know. I don't have it. I feel like I should try to stop myself from spending money on games, because there's enough in my library as it is, but everybody knows how that goes. Ori and the Blind Forest. That was a very enjoyable game that I finished a couple of months ago. Autocorrect, I really love it. Oh, well, I'm really, really glad. Don't be sorry, it's okay. I was just a little confused, and only temporarily. Turn-based strategy games, turn-based tactics games, card battles, roguelikes, traditional roguelikes. What else? I'm looking here. I tried out Descenders, which is a not randomly, a procedurally generated mountain biking game. It was all right. Although I must tell you, I was disappointed that I spent $9.50 on Descenders and then found out that it was in the next month's Humble Bundle, just a week or two later. If I just waited, I could have gotten Descenders for $1 instead of $9.50. But I had no way of knowing. Sometimes that happens. I also got MX versus ATV Reflex. I used to play the ATV games on PS2 as a kid, so it's cool to have one of those again. I started Wasteland 2 over, but I didn't find it very compelling, so I dropped it again. For the King, I barely started. Frostpunk, that was almost a month ago now that I played a few hours of Frostpunk. That game's actually pretty cool. 20 minutes till dawn is fun, Banished is fun. Doom Eternal, I'm stuck again. I got halfway through Doom Eternal on the hardest difficulty when it came out. And I've started over a couple of times, but the last couple of times I started it over, I always end up getting stuck. That always happens to me. I buy a game and then Steam has it on sale the very next week. Doesn't that suck? I hate it when that happens. I keep getting stuck a quarter of the way through Doom Eternal on the third boss or whatever. Bad luck. Yeah. Bug Fables, The Everlasting Sapling. Have y'all heard of this game? It's a tribute to Paper Mario 64, and to a lesser extent, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. It's an indie game tribute to those games and some others. My best friend and his wife are huge Paper Mario fans, so I told them about Bug Fables when it was half off back in June. They bought it, and she basically finished it, but she still much prefers Paper Mario. I got through chapter 1, I got into the start of chapter 2, and then I kind of forgot about it, but I really want to get back to it, because it kind of has that JRPG vibe that I'm in the mood for lately. I wanted to play Doom as well. Nice. Have you played Doom 2016 already? Doom 2016 is a game that I finished, but I finished it in the weeks leading up to Doom Eternal. If I had played Doom Eternal first, it would have made it harder to enjoy Doom 2016, because Eternal is that much of a difference, that much of an improvement. Katana Zero. Katana Zero is great. There was a trailer recently for the free DLC that's coming to Katana Zero. I need to finish that game. I haven't, I really want to though. Yeah, Doom 2016 was good. Horizon Zero Dawn. It's been a month since I played that. Wow. That game is pretty cool. I've started it a few times now, and this is the furthest I've gotten, maybe 5 or 10 hours. It's so vast and open and free. It's pretty nice. And I've got BeamNG Drive and CarX Drift Racing. More car games and driving games to go with my new steering wheel peripheral that I bought a few months ago. I need to use that more. Stealth Bastard and Death Function, and I got a refund on The Forest. It was kind of janky and kind of horror-y. Horror-y. You got to be really careful with how you enunciate that word. Made that joke with my coworkers, I guess, a few weeks ago now. I was like, the horror or the horror? My friend always talks about how good Horizon Zero Dawn is. I'm not sure about the sequel, but I appreciate the first one, even though I've not gotten very far in it. Open world games are kind of a dime a dozen nowadays, but Horizon seems like one of the good ones. I also like how Horizon Zero Dawn had the same narrative director, John Gonzalez, I think his name is. He was the same narrative director on Horizon Zero Dawn and on Fallout New Vegas. So, horror. She's a horror. Yeah, I don't know. Horror-y? What was I saying that about? Oh yeah, The Forest. Rimworld, Nomad Survival, Citizens of Earth, Reigns, Golf Club Wasteland, Monster Hunter, Fallout New Vegas, Batman Arkham Asylum, Veil Seal, Arbiter's Mark, Crypt of the Necrodancer. By the way, Crypt of the Necrodancer is one of my favorite games of all time. There was a gigantic free update 3.0 a couple of months ago, and then a few weeks after that, they were like, surprise, DLC number 2, finally. So, of course, naturally, I bought it right away, even though I've barely played it. But, yeah, Necrodancer's great. Snake Pass. It's been a month since I played that. My Time at Portia, which is like a Harvest Moon type game. Tried it out. I didn't find it that fun. So I deleted it and figured I'd save 9.5 gigabytes on my Steam Deck. Farming Simulator. That worked pretty well on Deck. League of Legends. I don't think that works on Steam Deck yet. Oh, you were saying laugh out loud, weren't you? I'm just making a goofy joke. Don't mind me. Space Marine. Warhammer Space Marine. That was fun. Wait, what was the name? Crypt of the what? What in the hell is a JPEG? No, it's Crypt of the Necrodancer. Like Necromancer, but Necro Dancer. Clever. League. Yeah, I'm definitely in a league of my own with these puns, am I right? Kind of like their other game, the studio that made Crypt of the Necrodancer. Their game after that was called Industries of Titan. And whenever that was revealed, they were talking with the game's director, and they were like, yeah, nice pun. And I was like, wait, there's a pun there? And he's like, yeah, it's a reversal on Titans of Industry. Industries of Titan. It is pretty clever, actually. I enjoy that game, too, more than most people did, apparently, because the Steam reviews suck. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? My Hank of the Hill... My Hank of the Hill impression is not very good. Daddy? That's kind of how Bobby sounds, right? From what I remember. No, I don't know. We ask them politely yet firmly to leave. For some reason, I was trying to figure out what that Bobby voice I did made me think of. One thing it made me think of was the ASDF movies. Remember ASDF movie on YouTube? Little 10-second funny cartoons by Tom Scott. High school humor. I need to pee, but I've been holding it for several minutes now because I don't want to leave. And I don't want to get up either. Hashtag relatable. Subnautica. I need to get back into that game. No Man's Sky. Need to get back into that game. Multiverses. That game's alright, I guess. It just made me want to play Smash Brothers. Tomb Raider 2012 or 2013. Need to get back to that game. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Kind of fizzled out on that game twice now. Music is amazing, though. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Incredible music. Favorite soundtracks, though. Chrono Trigger, Fez, Nier Automata. What was another one? I said another one last night, but I can't think of it now. There's too many. What are some of y'all's favorite soundtracks? And favorite pieces of music, for that matter. I'm gonna go pee. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. And we're back with more from Menamin ASMR. My friend is playing Final Fantasy VII, and he just sends me all the parts of the game that have pizza. Do you mean remake or classic? Pizza. I had pizza for breakfast today, actually. It was pretty good. Had it with a salad and stuff. It's the way to do it. boom, 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 boom. There's a song on the soundtrack called Under the Rotting Pizza. And you got it stuck in my head now. Okay. Remake. Oh, nice. Yeah, what happened with my first experience with Remake was I got to the first Motor Crazy Cycle boss fight sequence, and it dragged on for like half an hour, and that was unnecessary. So I finished the boss fight, finally, and then I was like, I'm not playing this anymore. I wish I'd spent my $80 on the soundtrack instead of the steelbook of the game. But yeah, the game runs pretty well on Steam Deck, surprisingly. Guess I just lost interest in it even sooner the second time. But I do like Final Fantasy VII though, in general. Even though I didn't play it much as a kid or much nowadays, I have some kind of connection to the music. $80 for the steelbook, dang. Yeah, but the soundtrack is like 8 CDs, so that would have been a better deal. And also, some of these games that I've discussed on Steam, I have access to courtesy of my friends' Steam libraries. But I also gave them access to my 2000 games. So it was a pretty good bargain, pretty good trade. Well. Mini Metro and Mini Motorways, those are chill games. Mini Motorways had an update this week, I think it was. They added another city to it, and they also added one to Mini Metro recently. I like those games a lot. Ink is a cool game. It's a simple precision puzzle platformer, or precision platformer at least. Ruiner and The Ascent are pretty cool. Just Cause. Oh gosh, I guess I'm sleepy now. Sleepier than I was before. That's my secret. I'm always sleepy. Well, tell me what to talk about. Ask me questions. Answer me questions. Like, what is your favorite color? Oh no, you made me yawn too. What time is it for everyone? That's a good question, right? Maybe the more streams that I ask that question, the more I'll start to remember who's where and who's when. Oh, my elbows keep farting when I rub them up against my bed. I don't know why. Physics. Physics can be fun. Just gonna put the Steam Deck away now. Light green. Ah. Green means go. Gotta go fast. It's 1:30 a.m. here. Oh, so you're on the East Coast. Or maybe in Canada. Hey, do you know, I had this joke stuck in my head the other day. It's a dad joke. You like dad jokes? Okay, so, did you ever hear the story about how they named Canada? Hello, Sherry Taylor. Thank you for tuning in. How have you been? Welcome to the stream. So the story goes, there were a few old bearded men sitting around a poker table, stroking their beards and smoking their cob pipes and staring into space, trying to figure out what they were going to name this new country of theirs. And eventually one of them speaks up and says, "See, eh?" And then the second one goes, "In, eh?" And then the third one goes, "D, eh?" I like that one. I'm great. How are you doing? I am fantastic for the moment. I'm all cheered up now. How is everyone else? I am a little sleepy though, I suppose. I'm a little bit at a loss for what to do or what to say or what to talk about or what to read or what to be. I hate that I laughed at that. I love that you laughed at that. What other dad joke did I have stuck in my head the other day? I don't know, I'm pretty good at those. Dad jokes and puns and rhymes and rhythms. Oh, and portmanteaus, that's another thing I really enjoy. Combining words, it's what a portmanteau is. So, for example, sin seriously is probably one you've heard, but I try to come up with them all the time. Like, exhaust dead. It's dead, but it's exhaust. But it's exhaust dead. That's one. What's another one? Certainly, that's one of my unique ones. Because it's sure, but it's certain, it's certain. Certainly. Shaken, not stirred. That's another one. Oh, another one is pretty good. It's discriminate. It's hate, but it's discriminatory. It's discriminate. That one's all right. Trying to remember. There's got to be more than that. Never heard of those. I'm going to use exhausted from now on. I'm glad to hear that. That's a fun one. I'm exhausted. Sincerely, certainly. Oh, pressure. That's another popular one of mine, I guess. It's, well, actually, the whole phrase is no worries nor hurries, no rush nor push, never pressure. It's rush, pressure. It's pressure. That's one. I feel like I'm forgetting some still. Oh, see, my job, my day job, I'm a food samples person at a grocery store, right? And sometimes the samples that I hand out would be best eaten with a utensil. And that allows me the opportunity to say, can't forget the fork, it's unforgettable. They're all great. Oh, shucks. That, yeah, it's a Bo Burnham bit that I liked a lot.
Okay, so I know a lot of my jokes are a bit fast and dense and hard to follow, so maybe for some of the older people in the audience, here's a slow joke.
What did the ear of corn say when all of its clothes fell off? Shucks. Get it? Like shucks as in shucking corn, but also shucks the exclamation? Am I right?
And then time speeds back up. And he just goes on with the show. Like nothing happened. Is that SpongeBob before? I don't think I did SpongeBob. Sometimes I do that.
Patrick, we did it. We saved the world.
That's pretty good, I guess. I haven't seen very much of that show. Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Patrick?
Could be better.
Squidward. That's how he talks, right?
Kinda.
Yeah.
That was my attempt at SpongeBob's laugh. What else does SpongeBob say? I'm trying to remember other lines from that show. No, whenever people talk about SpongeBob and my voice, I always think of those Japanese toy commercials or McDonald's commercials from the late 90s. Maybe I'm the only one who remembers this, but there was this like Japanese Happy Meal McDonald's commercial involving SpongeBob, and the announcer is just super enthusiastic. It's over the top. It's ridiculous. It's hilarious. I wish I could speak Japanese. Hey, Kanade does. Maybe she knows what I'm talking about. Man, I'll have to find that commercial and send it to you in private or something. But, by the way, join my Discord. I need to get back on my Discord. Or follow me on Twitter. That might be better, actually. I think I followed you on my ASMR Twitter, Kanade. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, the announcer, like, the memorable part is towards the end of the commercial, they're showing off the toys, the McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Okay. They're showing off the Happy Meal toys of SpongeBob and whoever else, and the announcer's all like, I should go Doug Chin Spongy Babu. I'll look at my Twitter then. I think I did. If I didn't, it's easy to find me. Man in MASMR, I think. Spongy Babu. I think he might have a really deep voice like that. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched it, but it always makes me laugh. I am Kanade. Yay. Kanade. And I know robot karate. What is that from? That's from Be Kind Rewind. I don't think I finished that movie. It also makes me think of The Matrix when Neo's like, whoa, I know Kung Fu. Wow. You wake up in your bed and you believe whatever you want to believe. Keanu was like, did it really sound like him? I don't know. I don't remember. Wow. Makes me think of Owen Wowson. Wow. Wow. That's how Owen Wilson always sounds. Wow. Wow. That's why everybody ought to call him Owen Wowson. Owen Wowson. Wow. Yeah, that sounds like a sea creature, like a seal, like a baby seal yawning. Wow. Like, or too lazy to cry, like hungry for mommy's milk, but doesn't want to cry too much. Wow. Wow. You get the idea. Do baby seals even drink milk? I don't think so, actually. I'm not sure.
This is a question for David Attenborough, famous nature documentary narrator. Wild peacock stalks its prey.
Oh, that's no longer David Attenborough. That's Dundee Attenborough.
We see the peacock in its natural habitat. It starts to spread its plumage.
I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head. Too tired for that. Oh. Makes me think of True Facts, I think it's called. The Zay Frank Nature Show, or I forget what it's called. That was a fun one. I don't remember what he says. Oh, earlier when I was doing Lawrence Fishburne from The Matrix, I was thinking of Morgan Freeman from Shawshank. I used to be able to do a pretty decent Morgan Freeman.
Sometimes it makes me sad, though. Andy being gone. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright.
It doesn't sound like Morgan. It sounds like a black guy, though, right? He's a hard voice to do.
Tommy Williams came to Shawshank in 1967.
I don't remember what year. I haven't seen that movie in a while. It's my favorite movie, though, probably. Where did Keanu go?
You're breathtaking.
Keanu's back, everybody. That didn't sound like him. That sounded like an anime protagonist.
In your dreams, mustache. I'm not a guy you want to mess with.
But before the protagonist has learned anything.
I'm assuming you've already been briefed on our target's data, right?
Trying to remember.
We'll split into 3 groups and zero in. Right.
Thinking back to my anime audition days, voice reel demo days. Blah blah blah. It wasn't really legit or anything. It was just practice. Who else does that sound like, that nasally voice?
Whoa. Oh my god. They're eating her. And then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god.
Anime audition? Well, not exactly. See, there's this voice actor named Sonny Strait, who most people know as Toonami Tom on Cartoon Network, or also as the voice of Krillin on the American dub of Dragon Ball Z. And he's in a lot of stuff. He's just one of the higher-ups at Funimation. Anyway, at this point in time, about 7 years ago, I think it was, I was living in Denton, Texas, which is a couple hours north of where I am now, I guess. And not to dox myself, but I was happening to live there at the time, and I heard something about Sonny Strait doing a voice acting workshop in Denton, and I decided that since I was there, I would try to attend, and I did. I paid the fee, and I attended all 6 Wednesday sessions over the course of that month and a half or whatever. And in my opinion, it was honestly a bit of a ripoff, I would say, because he kind of had a hands-off approach. He said, like, if you want it bad enough, you can learn on your own time, do your own research, blah, blah, blah. So he didn't seem very involved as a teacher, I would say. But one thing that class did afford us the opportunity to do was to practice dubbing over raw anime. Like, because he worked for Funimation, he had access to, like, the raw reels without the dub printed onto them already, so we could actually practice with, as if we were the paid actor doing the recording in the booth or whatever. Well, that's not teaching, I know, right? But anyway, I didn't drive at the time. I didn't have a vehicle or anything, so I had to bike the 2 miles between my apartment and the class, and that did a number on my voice, I would say. And also my voice was just very unreliable and inconsistent, and still is oftentimes unreliable and inconsistent. So I did the class, but most of the time my voice sucked during the class and during the audition part, the quote-unquote audition part. So most of the stuff that ended up on my demo reel sucked. But I have re-recorded it. But I don't have access to the raw reels to, like, plant or print my better takes onto the old footage. So we just have the new audio and the old video. Anyway, take care, everyone. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the like. Fairly well, TTYL, Mademoiselle. Sweetest dreaming, whether wake or sleep. You have to take 5 cough drops. So that's how you do it. That's how your voice sounds so nice every time. You too, Sherry. Good night. Adieu. Ta-ta. Aloha. Aloha is hello and goodbye, I think. If I remember right. I don't see Hawaii not. That was lame. Oh well. What were we talking about? Yeah, Sonny Strait, voice reels, blah, blah, blah. I was thinking back to that, and I was just randomly remembering lines from that.
In your dreams, mustache.
That was one. What was another one? Oh, let them run away. There'll be no use to us in finding the star. You win, Julia. That was another one. And then, the nerdy character, like the Q type from James Bond. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm going to go listen to your videos as soon as this stream ends. If I'm still awake, there's a chance I'll fall asleep before the stream ends. We'll see. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, there was that Q character. I'm trying to remember all of his lines. He was like, "I'm assuming you've already been briefed on our target's data, right? He's walked right into our things, and we're gonna tighten the noose. We'll split into 2 groups and zero in." Something like that. Oh, please, no. I'm not gonna play your content on my stream. That's not what I meant. I'm just gonna go fall asleep myself, you know? That's all I meant. But anyway. And what was another line? Right. So the one that I'm most embarrassed about from the original recordings from that class that I had to bike to, it's supposed to be this like really macho, suave, Mexican-looking character. I don't know what anime any of these are, but my voice was terrible back then. I was like, right, this is our chance. Like, my voice was that bad on those days. Whereas what the character should have sounded like is something more like, right, this is our chance. Super macho, super gruff. In my UN speech, I'll say it doesn't exist. That will become reality, and we won't be dragged into more war. Kind of sounds like a Solid Snake if he smoked even more. Colonel. Snake. Otacon. That wasn't quite Snake. That was more of a Halo announcer. I don't know. How does one voice act?
Snake, you have to do the thing.
Huh? What thing?
You know, the thing. You have to become a voice actor.
Snake, that there is Kirby. From Kirby's Adventure. He can swallow you up whole, so don't underestimate him, Colonel. How do you know this?
I don't know. Just bullshitting. I don't remember what the actual lines are. Kirby, no.
Snake, that is Yoshi. He can lick you up and shit you out in an egg in a split second.
Sounds fascinating. I'd kind of like to see that. It's no longer Snake, but it is funny. My phone even plugged in still? Okay, good. I can't come up with these. I don't remember what they were in the game either, though. Started to make me think of General Pepper from Star Fox 64.
It's about time you showed up, Star Fox. You're the only hope for our world. Good luck.
What other voices should we do? Oh, I was saying a second ago that Snake was starting to sound more like the Halo announcer. Griffball. Zombies. Running riot. King of the Hill. Hill contested. Money, money, money. Wait, what? Uh-oh, you can see that. Yes, my iPad is correct. It is 12:50 a.m. here. I forgot to say that earlier, didn't I? When everyone else was like, it's 1:30 here. Mr. Krabs enters the chat.
Oh, me money, money, money. Mr. Krabs, I kind of remember how he talks, but I kind of don't.
That's like a really deep version of him, isn't it? I think Mr. Krabs is voiced by Clancy Brown, Captain of the Guards from Shawshank. Started to make me think of Popeye.
You got to eat your spinach. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember how Mr. Krabs talks. I've barely watched any SpongeBob. That was something I used to do. Hey, we have 5 likes now. Thank you all for the likes. That was 5, right? Have one for good luck. In high school, middle school, whatever, with the clarinet I played, I found, and with saxophones too, actually. When you plug all the holes on the clarinet and you make a deep mooing style sound, the clarinet or saxophone actually enhances it and makes it sound like a real cow. But my voice has gotten so much deeper since I was little, or since I was a teenager even, that I can just do the moo en naturel without the need for a clarinet or saxophone. Sometimes. Let's see, let's try. I was pretty convinced by that. There's a cow in my room. Help. Help me. What should I do? JRPG battle screen appears. You attempt to milk the cow. It's ineffective. It's in. What would be the Pokemon message for that? It's not very effective. Kisses. Nice. Who doesn't like kisses? Especially ASMR style kisses. Some ASMR artists are better at those than others. Like, I'm probably not very good at them. Because it's hard. I find it hard to fake a kiss, I guess. Convincingly. It's just a small squelchy sound. Now, farts, on the other hand, not to kill the mood or anything, but no, that was weak. That was better. Oh, love me some kisses, yeah. Love me football, love me kisses. Simple as. Are the faces for the farts? Oh my god. That's actually the same way I do the duck voice.
What the fuck? Oh my god. Wow.
Oh, they're for the kisses.
Oh my god. Wow. What the fuck?
Gotcha. Anyway, that's the way I do the duck voice. I squeeze some air in the back of my cheek. And I'm like poking myself in the cheek when you hear that. Right, and the fart sound is when I press my palm against that air pocket. But you have to do it in a particular way. You have to reshape your lip. Anyways, how did it become about this? This is why I should not stay up late. Because my mind just totally disappears. Oh, Heath Ledger's Joker was another impression I used to be pretty good at. You want to know why? That wasn't good. Hang on. You want to know how I got these scars? Because I don't remember.
You want to know why I use a knife? Because a spoon just wouldn't cut it.
Yeah, this is not as good as it used to be.
Ugh. What does he say? I believe that whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger. No, I kill the bus driver.
Bus driver? What bus driver?
Boss told me when the guy was done, I should just take him out. One less share, right?
Funny. Told me something similar.
What? No. That's a pretty good movie. That's one of the few movies that I've watched so many times that it gets worse now. There's a handful of movies that around the 17th watch, they just aren't as fun anymore. That was one of them, but it's still a good movie. Trying to think of other lines. Obviously, I was obsessed with that movie for a long time, among others, but
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
what's your favorite movie? The Shawshank Redemption, starring Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins, and an all-star cast. From the year 1994, written and adapted from Stephen King's best-selling book, adapted by Frank Darabont and directed by Frank Darabont, with music by Thomas Newman and cinematography by Roger Deakins. And I forget what else, but yeah, that's probably my favorite. I've seen that one about 41 times. Granted, it has been a few years, but I do rewatch movies a lot. I've seen Shawshank about 41 times. I've seen Fight Club about 31 times. I've seen Anchorman 1 about 30 times. By the way, when people ask me how I got this voice, that's my answer. I watched Anchorman 30 times.
You what? You pooped in the refrigerator? And you ate the whole wheel of cheese?
Actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing. No, but that's how they talk. They talk all announcery and narratory like throughout that whole movie. They are anchormen, after all. There was a time before cable, a time when only men were allowed to read the news. And in San Diego, one anchorman stood above the rest. His name was Ron Burgundy. He wore suits so fine they made Sinatra look like a hobo. He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr. I kind of lost the impression, but oh well. Never watched Shawshank or Fight Club. That's okay. They're more man movies, you could say. They're not, I don't know. I guess women can still enjoy them, but they don't seem to appeal to women as much as they do to men. Those two movies in particular, among others. Man movies, I can't think of a better word. Like, they're not necessarily dude bro movies. Dude bro movies would be more like Scarface or The Hangover. I'm trying to think, what would be dude bro movies? There's got to be other examples, right? I don't know. I like those types of movies, though. Well, I'm not trying to prevent you from watching them. I think I mostly watch man movies then. American Psycho, Taxi Driver. There's a whole meme about it nowadays. How men fixate on these psychotic, literally me, psychopath characters. I mean, Shawshank's not like that. But Fight Club and American Psycho and Taxi Driver and Blade Runner and Drive, they kind of fall into that category, I guess. And Nightcrawler. That's like a different subgenre, I guess. That's not man movies. That's not dude bro movies. That's like incel movies. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Because they're good movies. American Psycho, yeah. Trying to think of a line from that movie. I have to return some videotapes. Oh yeah, I guess I also like the moments when he's like, 4 was Huey Lewis and the News' best new album. Not Intel movies, incel movies. But yeah. Yeah, there you go. Intel. Bum, 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 bum. Intel Pentium inside. This movie brought to you by Intel. There's a line about that in Fight Club, actually. The narrator in Fight Club, he says something like, when deep space exploration ramps up, it'll be the corporations that name everything. The Microsoft Galaxy. Planet Starbucks. What else does he say? Oh, he says, the Microsoft Galaxy. The IBM Stellar Sphere. Planet Starbucks. And while he's saying this, the camera is zooming out from the bottom of a trash can, full of all these things. Yeah, that's a good movie. I haven't seen that in a while either. It's kind of depressing though. I guess a lot of my favorite movies are depressing. What are y'all's favorite movies? Sorry, I kept forgetting to ask. Charlie Kaufman is probably my favorite screenwriter. He wrote Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. The Mummy, 1999, with Brendan Fraser. And music by Jerry Goldsmith, I think. Or Alan Silvestri. No, Silvestri did the sequel. Goldsmith did the original. I haven't seen any of those. Nice. That's an interesting choice. I guess I need to watch it now. George of the jungle, watch out for that tree. Because Brendan Fraser, you know. There was a Mummy demastered video game in the last few years that was alright. It was a tie-in with the reboot. They are really bad, but I love them so much. Lol. Yeah, bad movies can be fun. They're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god. There's a game? Yeah, I think it's called The Mummy Demastered. But it's a tie-in with the reboot, the Tom Cruise reboot. The music in the game is pretty cool. The reboot is awful. It looked like it, and the trailers made it look like it. What was I saying? I was saying something. And it wasn't yawn. I guess it's 1 a.m. now. Let me see. Yep, it's 1:05, just about. Do you have any other favorite movies? Like a top 5, Brad? I think my top 5 would probably be Shawshank, Fight Club, Anchorman, Eternal Sunshine, and after that I don't remember. I don't know. It's impossible to choose. I like a lot of different movies. Let me think. I just have a bunch of movies flashing through my mind. Too fast for me to name. Memento, Inception, The Green Mile, The Dark Knight. What'd you say? I have a lot of movies. Hold on, I need to think. Did I already say Good Will Hunting? Dead Poets Society. Amélie, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Seven. The Incredibles, Up, Wall-E. Her, Synecdoche, New York. Up in the Air. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, maybe. I'm trying to picture this collage I made a long time ago of like my 18 favorite movies, or at least 18 of my favorite movies. It had Shawshank, Fight Club, Anchorman, Eternal Sunshine, Scott Pilgrim, Benjamin Button, Synecdoche, New York, The Dark Knight. Catch Me If You Can was on there. The Mummy, Resident Evil, Apocalypse. Oh, Resident Evil Apocalypse is one thing. Us. Jordan Peele's Us. Anastasia, or Anastasia. And Avengers Endgame. Nice, nice. I have seen none of those. I don't think. I'm aware of them, mostly. It's bothering me. I'm trying to remember like the top 6. I'm missing one from my list, from my collage. I had in the upper left column of my collage, I had Shawshank, Fight Club, Anchorman. And in the upper right, I had, oh, The Truman Show. Fuck. I should not have forgotten that. Definitely up there. Yeah. So I guess that would be my top 5 then. Honestly, I have too many movies to think about. Those just came to mind first. Fair enough. I feel the same way. Clearly. Benjamin Button. Oh, for some reason, Silver Linings Playbook was on my top 20 collage. I don't think I'd hold that movie in that high a regard, but it is good. Amélie was on there. Up in the Air, Benjamin Button. The Social Network was on there, but I'm not a huge fan of that movie anymore either, I guess. What else was on there? Oh yeah, 7 was on there. I kind of want to look this up now. It's been so long. Plus, 18 movies is not a lot to me. Like, I need a top 50 or a top 100. Oh God, the camera's on. That was a close call. Hopefully you didn't see that. I don't want to dox myself and have to edit this stream too. Alright, what was I looking for? It's going to be in my images or on, maybe it's on Facebook Messenger. Wants me to log in. You're giving me a lot of movies to potentially binge tomorrow. Sure. I would not complain about that one bit. Maybe I should look at my Blu-ray shelf. Maybe that would be better than trying to look at my top 20 collage. But it's not up here. Maybe I'll go look at my Rate Your Music profile. There's this website called Rate Your Music, but they also have community sites that allow you to rate your movies and rate your video games. So let's see what I put on my Rate Your Films or whatever. Oh yeah, I watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy my first time a year ago. That was pretty good. Let's look here at my most favorite movies. Sort by rating. Oh, Birdman's on there. That's a good one. It's called Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. That's a good movie. What have I not mentioned in my ramblings? Parasite was good. 500 Days of Summer, that was probably on the top 20 collage. Ace Ventura, Being John Malkovich. Oh, How to Train Your Dragon. That's a good one. Inception. Yeah, I did mention Memento, but I don't think I mentioned Inception. Yeah, it's pretty good. I wanted to watch the extended trilogy, but I never got around to it. Oh my God, Parasite. You've seen that? It's good, isn't it? I watched it twice. The weekend that I watched it, I had to watch it a second time right away. It was good. The Bong Joon-ho movie, I think that's how you say his name. He also made Snowpiercer. I think I'm thinking of the right guy. Liar, Liar, that's a good one. It's a Wonderful Life, that's a good one. Moon. Shrek 1 and 2. Nice. The Tree of Life. That is a good one. Yep. Okay, we've made it out of my favorites territory, I guess. Wait, where was Up in the Air? Oh, it's on there. Okay. Extended's good. I like the little details that are explained. Ooh. I'm gonna have to watch it. Anyway. Pardon me. Well, according to my Rate Your Music profile, my top 10 movies are, in something of an order, just off the top of my head, Shawshank Redemption, Fight Club. Is Anchorman up here? Oh, no, Anchorman's not on here. It's no longer in the top 10, according to my last ranking. So what would replace it? I don't know. Shawshank, Fight Club, Truman Show, Eternal Sunshine. Whatever. I give up. That's enough repeating myself on that. Well, I'm not sure what to discuss now. I guess I was also thinking about TV shows. Recently, I watched Westworld. The first 3.5 seasons. The first 2 seasons were good. What else did we watch? I watched Mad Men. That was a pretty good show. I watched, before that, I watched watched 30 Rock, which was my favorite TV show for the longest time. I'm not sure what would be my favorite TV show now. Oh, I'm getting sleepy. I think I'm gonna have to go to sleep. Well, I hope that's my fault. Because that's the whole point of an ASMR artist, after all, is to try to help people relax and fall asleep. So don't feel bad that we can't continue talking for tonight. We can always continue talking another time. When next I stream, or perhaps even next you post a video or stream. But yes, I bid you adieu. And I hope that you have only the sweetest of dreams. And I hope to see you again soon. Nighty night. I should probably also go to sleep, all things considered. I'm running out of energy. Yay. Good night. Fare thee well, TTYL. Sweetest dreaming, whether wake or sleep. Nighty night. Good night, Conade.